Matt Rife did not get canceled because he made a bad joke. He got canceled because he made big business mistakes. So we all know Matt Rife for blowing up on TikTok for his crowd work. He was known as charming, and he was known for being witty with his audiences. And basically, millions of women around the world fell in love with Matt Rife. Since he debuted his career on TikTok, he was seen as very much like the boy next door, the playful, desirable comedian. If we look at other comics, we could describe Bill Burr as unhinged, or Andrew Schulz as clever and informed, or Sebastian Maniscalco for his physical comedic timing. Every comedian is known for something. They have a brand. And for Matt Rife, that was the playful, desirable boy next door. And so when Matt Rife's Netflix special came out, you best believe millions of women were shocked to be welcomed with this crass, cheap joke. And it really doesn't even matter if the joke was funny or not. It was just so off-brand. Matt Rife is not known for making sexist jokes. Matt Rife, in his comedy special, suddenly turned into Bill Burr. And that is why so many fans were turned off. They were turned away. They were like, what's happening? What's happening here? And so the mistake was creating a comedy special that did not deliver on customer expectations. So let's go through some examples. This is like McDonald's if they started to only serve salads, or if like IKEA suddenly charged thousands and thousands of dollars for their furniture, or if Nike started selling candy. And it's off-brand. It's not aligned with what they are known for. So mistake number one was creating a brand new product for a completely new audience. It wasn't on brand. It wasn't targeting the right people. And then Matt Rife came out and said his special catered towards men. And that's business mistake number two. Imagine building an audience of millions of people, just 50% of them are women. He just came out and alienated 50% of his audience. He admitted to creating his special for another audience. That's like the Barbie movie attracting millions and millions of women to see the Barbie movie and then coming out and saying, it's just for men. What? Of course, women would have been disappointed. Also, it's so weird that he responded that way. It would have been so much better to say nothing. No comedian comes out and says, my comedy is for a specific audience. The whole point of comedy is to make as many people laugh as possible, to entertain as many people as possible. So that was weird. But a great example of a company that alienated their audience, their biggest fans, is Bud Light. Doesn't matter what they got canceled for, they clearly did not think about their current fans while trying to reach a different audience. And we saw the devastating consequences of that, of alienating loyal fans, because it is estimated that they lost $395 million in sales in the US alone. I do believe that Matt Rife will experience a little financial hit because he hasn't built his male audience as much as his female audience. So at that point, it's just math. Like there's just not as many men watching his stuff. And so to recap, the number one mistake was creating a Netflix special for a new audience. And then mistake number two was alienating his current audience. And then everything just so off-brand, right? It doesn't end there. When people started to point out Matt's sexist joke, he took it as people being sensitive to his joke. We all know what he did. He put a link to a helmet for disabled people as his response. And for comedians, I feel like that's a typical response because it's supposed to be like witty and like defending your jokes, which is all fine. However, again, ultimately it was very off-brand. I've seen Matt Rife making sure his audience was okay, interacting with people who were hearing impaired in his audience, and anyone who saw those videos probably thought that Matt was probably just a straight-up guy, you know, someone who is down to earth, who's not just, you know, a celebrity. And so when he responded to people with that link, it was like, oh, you don't understand why your audience is upset. And then the response was just not on brand. An example of a comedian who had a similar response, but it worked, was Trey.
In a recent episode, I said something that unfortunately, a lot of people took the wrong way. And I looked up, just turquoise hair. People who dye their hair, I actually love it because like it's nice to know like immediately I don't want to talk to you.
Oh no, the medium ugly man with brown hair and no jawline doesn't want to talk to me. Whatever will I do?
You know, me personally as a comedian, I truly don't want to upset anyone. Every week I just try to say things to make people laugh. So, you know what? And I tell you what, I'd rather do anything than to upset this many people. Not to be drastic, but I'd rather dye my hair blue than to ever back down from that take. Y'all are crazy. Y'all are crazy.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, dude.
Totally.
Oh, yeah.
Totally.
I love the...
I thought you were going to apologize.
Can we,
Trey did not get canceled because his response was like people expected him to respond. He also didn't alienate his audience. So mistake number 3 was the lack of a team that could have helped him diagnose the right problem and what was happening, and then properly responding, if responding at all. In this video, we're not just going to break down his mistakes, we're also going to provide some solutions. My first suggestion, Matt, is to revisit your brand. You don't want to be catering to one specific audience. It's fine that you write for men, but then your TikToks also have to reflect that. And just as a business move, I would pay attention to those stats on TikTok. And if it doesn't say men, reconsider. You also don't want to completely alienate women because men have girlfriends, wives, and you want couples to come to your show. So I would suggest not intentionally targeting a gender. It's just a bad move in the industry. And so the first thing is just to revisit your brand. How do you want to show up in front of this audience? What content you're going to put out there to attract this certain brand, and what you would put in your next Netflix special so that everything is kind of a cohesive story. My second suggestion is to hire a PR team. Someone should be in your corner helping you diagnose what is going on. A PR team can also help you with your narrative. When you go on podcasts, it's weird that your narrative is how good looking you are. Why isn't it about the 12 years of work that you put into your career? They can help you with responding, diagnosing the problem, and also your narrative. Then we need to start rebuilding your reputation. You want to do collaborations. And I saw that you did one with Jordan Peterson. I didn't watch it, but I could imagine that you defended your joke. And that's not the right thing to be focusing on. Instead, you want to collaborate with other comedians. There's that woman that you always talk to in your TikToks, the one with the squeaky boob. Collaborate with her. There are so many fun ideas I have for collaborations and videos that you can put out there. Okay, this one's a hard one to talk about, but improve the product. Now, if you're getting feedback that you are not funny or the jokes aren't funny, I would probably go in the back and be like, why are they saying that? And just reflect on the material. Get mentors, get people to review it, get feedback from people who are already in the industry. Because as an agency owner, when someone tells me, oh, I don't like this, I'm not like, well, you have to. I take it, I review it, and then I give it back. I think in this case, if people are saying that, a lot of people are saying that, it could be because it's just you made something for the wrong audience, so that's why they're not liking it. But just find out why people are saying that. My last piece of advice is, Matt, there's a reason that you have millions of people who follow you. You can recover from this. You can get your audience back. It just requires properly diagnosing the problems and then properly addressing them. So with that, I'm gonna go make a sandwich. I made a sexist joke because he did. You see what I did there?